Okay, we're just checking out your submission for assignment 9. You've got really everything that you need set up in the scene right now, but if we go ahead and render this out, let's see, let's render this from your camera that you've got in the scene, camera 1. All we're actually really getting is just kind of this backlight here, and it kind of just looks like a little sliver, like a crescent moon. So really, we want to be able to light up our scene more than this. We don't want just this sliver. We want to be able to see, for example, the ground here and the rest of the sphere. So, it's right now it's super dark. So let's go ahead and go over some things we can do with this lighting to just maybe light this a little better. Okay, so first of all, we've got this directional light here, and what a directional light does is it actually lights up the entire scene no matter where the directional light is sitting, and it'll light up the entire scene as if the sun were shining from whatever angle you have it set to. So basically you can picture this like, let's say we have they're like little rays of sunshine, okay? These little arrows. So they're shining from this direction over to this way, okay? So the arrows are pointing where the rays of light are shining, okay? So everything in your entire scene is kind of shining from this sort of an angle, okay? Just wherever those arrows are pointing, that's where the sun is shining. So really, right now, the way we have it set up, the sun is kind of shining from, underneath the ground here. So if you can kind of picture light shining on the bottom of this, then it's going to create a shadow of this floor coming all the way across here, okay? So that's going to create a big giant shadow, and we're just not really going to see any light on the top area here coming from this source, okay? Because it's just really shining on the bottom here. So let's go ahead and turn it around. And I know it's a little confusing at first because it looks like it's up over here, so how can it be shining underneath here? But it's just a funny thing about directional lights is that no matter where I put this light, I can literally put it anywhere in the scene and it will always look exactly the same unless I move the rotation of this light. Alright, it's just light that's shining from everywhere, and only rotation will affect this light position. It has nothing to do with it. So it's a little special that way. So instead of having it shine kind of off in this direction, let's actually shine this light on our sphere, okay? And I'm gonna move this kind of back over here. Again, the position doesn't really affect anything, but sometimes it helps you kind of see in relation to other objects kind of how it's shining. So let's turn this guy around so that it's pointing at our sphere, and right now it's kind of at an angle pointing up like this. So again, we might get kind of that situation where we're just lighting the bottom of things and seeing shadows. So let's point it down. So now what we have is light shining down from above on this surface and on this sphere, okay? So let's go ahead and re-render that, and we'll see what we've got. Alright, so we're already doing better with this. We can kind of see the floor now. We can see our sphere now. We've still got this backlight going on. There's even a shadow down here. You can see just right on the edge. So that's really good. It's it's already looking a lot better. We can see everything in the scene now. So the other thing is we've got this backlight here, and we've got this key light looking pretty good, but there's just kind of a dark area here right in between this backlight and our key light, right? So generally what we do to address that is to have a fill light that just kind of lights up those really dark areas that aren't directly lit by either the backlight or the key light. Okay, so it just kind of fills in the blanks there for us, you know, if you will. So let's go ahead and move this guy. Just move it over a little bit, and we'll see if that gets us anywhere. Maybe it can shine a little more on this kind of a side angle there. Okay, so now you can see we've got this filled in quite a bit, and you know, it's maybe even too bright because it's almost drowning out our key light at this point. You know, it kind of looks even brighter over here than it was right there, and it looks like that was also what was creating our backlight. All right, so I think we really want this one to be more of just kind of a fill light on the side here, and we want our backlight to really be coming from behind. So that's going to be this little spotlight guy you've got back here. So, you know what I'm going to do, because this is a little bright, let's just turn this guy down a little bit. Let's try 0.75 and see where that gets us. Just render this one little spot here. Alright, a little better, not too crazy about that. Let's darken it up dramatically. Alright, so now we've got, you know, some light here, and it's not kind of overpowering our key light. And because it's kind of shining on the floor a little bit, you might notice that down here. We might want to move it up a little bit so that it's not quite so apparent on the floor. Just render all that again. Yeah, so now we have, you know, not total blackness over here, but it's not really drowning out our main key light either, okay? Now the last thing that we have is our backlight. So a good way to work with these spotlights is to actually look through them, and that way you can kind of position where the spotlight is shining, be able to see that really easily. So the way to do that is just go ahead and grab this spotlight, alright, and you can come up here to panels, I believe, yep, panels, and click look through selected, and what that's going to do is that's going to show you as if you're looking through that spotlight, as if you are that spotlight. Now, instead of being a camera off in space, you are actually controlling the spotlight and the direction of the spotlight. So right now when I'm moving around, I'm controlling where the spotlight is pointing. This kind of little circle here is showing me, hey, here's your spotlight. So I'm going to shine it, oh, I don't know, maybe I'll just shine it something like that, and we'll try that and see how that looks, okay? Let's see if we're shining on our sphere. Okay, so we know for sure that we're definitely pointing in the direction of our sphere, so it should be within our spotlight, but we're still not really seeing much of anything on our sphere as far as backlight goes, which kind of leads me to believe that this is just too dark at this point. So let's go ahead and change this to something a little higher. Let's try 0.75 and see how that goes. So we're just starting to see a little bit of a highlight there. We could maybe go to 1.5. See how that looks. Okay, so now we're really starting to get some backlight. I'm going to crank this up even higher. Okay, so now you can kind of really see some backlight going on there. Whoops, and I moved my spotlight. Okay, so once you're kind of done working with the spotlight, you can click somewhere else to deselect the spotlight, and you can actually just come up to Panels, Perspective, and go to Perspective, and you will snap back to your regular perspective camera, okay? So what I'm going to do right now is, just a few more little adjustments. I think I'm going to brighten up our directional light a little bit. Maybe darken this one down even more. And let's see how that looks. And you may even want to change the direction of this as well, and adjust things just kind of however you see fit, just as long as you're actually getting all three of those forms of light onto your sphere somehow or other. We want to be able to see them and have them be present and apparent on your sphere. So something right about like that, really. I just kind of moved our spotlight off into the side, so it's just kind of gently lighting up this curve right here. We've got our fill light keeping this area right here from being perfect black, and our key light lighting up the whole scene here and our front of our object. Okay, so that's kind of the idea. And just make sure that you go in there and take a look at all your different lights and make sure that at the end you have something that you're able to clearly see, and you've got it backlit here so it's popping out from the background. You don't have any black areas, and that you can just kind of clearly see everything within the scene. Alright, so let me know if you have any questions about this, and other than that, happy modeling.